What's good? What's good? What's good? Can you hear me? Give it a couple more seconds. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate it. There was no way I was going to start this playoffs without talking about them. At some point, I knew I was going to have to start talking about them. Everything ain't for everybody. Every decision ain't a good one. I think our decision to let go of both of them and not at least keep one of them is proven to be not the best option. It may have worked out on the surface, but we got to see how this shit works out in real time. Next year looks like a good one, but right now we're seeing multiple players that were said to be in the way of a time frame, in the way of somebody's development, too old, not a fit, fitting in real well everywhere else. So is it that they didn't fit with us, or were we just jumping the gun a little bit too much? Because I think a lot of people were overzealous with the potential of a situation and not looking at the reality of the situation the way that they were supposed to. Being so adamant about letting people go. Norm being the first one. And then after Norm, everything trickled down from there. And everybody's still in the playoffs, competing and thriving, and we're at home waiting for next season, which isn't a bad thing because there's a lot of optimism and potential there. But we let go of bona fide production. Like there's nothing wrong with setting up the future, but you have to deal with the present and the present competition level of the NBA. You can't just skip past what's in front of you and say, nah, we're just going to let this slide. We'll deal with the failure here and then hope for a brighter day. At some point, those young players that you have become the veterans that you're going to want to let go of. And it proves that logic is flawed. And we're looking at it right now. We're looking at two guys that people were just adamant about letting go of. Couldn't wait to let them go. Just enjoyed the concept of letting them go and saying they don't fit a timeline. They don't fit at all. Now everybody is still trying to fit in to what we have. I think we should have kept at least Pascal. I think we should have kept at least Pascal. Letting both go. I understand OG. We weren't giving him 200, but I think we should have at least kept Pascal because we still could have ended up getting something. You know what I mean? We still could have at least had more time to bought the young guys more time because now they're in the heat of the battle without enough veterans. And when we look at what everybody is doing, they're doing exactly what we did with Scottie. We surrounded Scottie when he came to us with a bunch of qualified veterans. And now everybody's doing that. They have a young star, they surround them with twice as many veterans. You got two young stars, you make sure you got four veterans in the rotation. You got one star, you make sure you have at least two veterans that he can learn from and build off of. Sky don't have nobody. And he's becoming the young OG. So now you got the young guys coming in having to try to learn from him while he's still trying to learn himself, which puts us behind the eight ball. Because he's not processing a lot of information fast enough, not only to give him the advantage, but then to teach the guys who believe in him and are trusting in him on the way in. So now he has to defer to Brandon Ingram. And I don't know. I know he could hoop, but I don't know about his leadership capabilities. You know what I mean? I would trust the Pascal more than I would trust the Brandon Ingram. And Brandon can hoop, but we've never seen him really be in this type of position before, where he's the elder statesman, he's the best player, and people are going to defer to him a little bit more than they have in the past. It's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot to be. It's a lot to ask of what we got in the Cedars. It feels great. It feels great to see Pascal and OG still in the mix, especially in the Eastern Conference. Because whatever goes on out in the West Shout out to Fred and Kawhi and Norm. That's that. We're not as attached to the Western Conference players the way we are the Eastern Conference. Even if it's not our team, we're still attached to it because we're affected by it. But I think we should look forward to, if we're going to bring in young players, changing that formula of trying to have young players under a young player. It should be a situation where you have twice as many veterans at the least, because that's the MO now. That worked perfectly in Detroit. They went as far as they could, but they were relevant and competitive. It almost went to game 7. It took a lot. Listen, it took a lot of Jalen Brunson. It took OG having a big game. Their bench only had like 6 points. You need veterans, but listen, they took them as far as they could, and it made it too much of an affair of competition. Because you think in the first round, young star veterans, you should be able to walk through them in 5 or easy 6. That whole series looked like work. That whole series looked like it was a whole lot more competitive than we expected. And that's because the Pistons had veterans. They didn't rely on Cade a lot last night. They relied on those veterans coming through. Beasley is, whew. If we can get us one of those type of players coming off the bench, if AJ Lawson or Battle or somebody can become that type of 3-point shooter for us, man, listen. Man, look, that's a big step in the right direction. That dude was lights out. It looked like he couldn't miss. And if he didn't fumble the ball at the end of the game, he could have splashed that last one. That was it was right in his spot too. He loved to show the 3. He's a damn, I didn't know he could shoot like that. I didn't know Beasley could shoot like that. We need one of those. But he's a veteran, traveled, just like Schroeder, who ran point. It's funny. The veterans were shining for Detroit. And they never really were able to be the guy anywhere else. But here it makes a little bit more sense because they have a young guy that's a star himself. But that whole thing is built around their experience. And they're brought in, not as somebody to play under him, but also to play beside him. We wanted the opposite. And that philosophy is flawed. We got to definitely change that up because our guys that we have now are slowly becoming those veterans, and we have to change that philosophy because before you know it, Scottie's going to be in year 6, and y'all going to be saying he's old and he's past his, or he's peaking his prime and all this other shit, and he should be helping younger players. It's going to be a lot of the extra conversation, but this is what you get when you got guys who are who went through all the proper progressions to become better. They go wherever they go and they continue to improve and thrive. There's no way around that. It's going to be beautiful to see them. I can't wait till the weekend. Like, this is a great Friday. I can't wait for the weekend. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Knicks and the Celtics too. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I just can't wait for it all. Like, it's one of them things where you kind of live in this space of, damn, I wish we had a lead. I wish we had. And if Pascal shines against Cleveland, it's going to burn a little bit more. It's definitely going to burn a little bit more. If Pascal really shines against Cleveland, it's going to burn. It's going to burn a little bit more. You know what I mean? I think it's the West. I think it's the Western Conference games of the night. I That's about it. That's the only thing left. No. I think no. I don't think there's a game tonight. I think the semifinals for the East is done, and the Western Conference they got one more game. They got Game 7 coming up for the Clippers and shit. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the success of it all. We've been through a lot, a lot. It's good. It's good to see this. Oh, Rockets and Warriors. I don't know if people are gonna really line up to see that one. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have it doesn't have the same. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. Now we back in the comfortable spot. Had to move around a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Pettiness is always. None of these teams really like each other, and they all have something to prove. It's that's when the money's on the floor, everything counts. You know what I mean? And that's all you want. You want some meaningful basketball when it counts the most. That's it. Especially this time of the year after we got to put up with 6 months of bullshit basketball, video game shit, bad narratives, a lot of gossip. We ain't got time. For some of us, we just want to watch the game. And we back to that. And we're back to I can't wait. I can't wait. I want the Warriors to close that series out too, but I don't know. Fred in games. Fred right now, they haven't had that signature game from Fred yet. Like he's been quiet a lot during this series. He's been talking, but the performance, he hasn't had that signature performance yet. I think he's due for one. Tonight is a better night than any for him to do that. I'm looking. I think Fred might pull off a magic performance. He got one. He's gonna give them one. He hasn't given it to him yet. I think tonight could be one of those nights for Fred. No, I don't want to share that. Why is that up? If Kawhi wins a championship, if Kawhi wins a championship without us, it's going to be interesting because he's going to have as ridiculous as the last few years have been for him, and he gets to the finals and wins another one. Man, listen, he's going to have an opportunity to say some slick shit because we all pretty much. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I kind of count him out. I'm still counting him out because physically he's not the same guy. But if he can creep up and win another one after all the shit he's been through the last 4-5 years, man, listen, he's gonna have an opportunity to say some slick shit, and he's right. You know what I mean? He'll be rightfully so. But man, listen, let's see, because he's looking good. The timing, you know what is crazy? The timing of everybody, the teams getting in the right pocket, and certain players getting in the right pocket. Like Kawhi out of nowhere. Like the last thing I would have thought is Kawhi being healthy like this. Norm being Norm. James Harden still playing well. Like, then you got whatever's going on with the in Denver. I have no idea why they're not able to piece together some dominant performances. Because you would think with the way that they were playing during the regular season, this wouldn't be as close as it is. It's 50-50 in game 7. You know what I'm saying? So whoever gets the MVP, regardless, I still think Shea deserves it. But I think if Joker gets it and they don't go anywhere, that says a lot about him because it's the second time and there's no more excuses. You know what I mean? That says a lot. He's doing everything he can, but there has to be a conversation about the limitations. Even if he can go to the heights statistically, if you can't win with it when it counts the most, it's a conversation to be had. But it's looking like, you know what I love though? All the veterans are shining. There's not too many, if any at all, young rookie players or young stars really shining in these playoffs. It's all the veteran guys that get swept under the rug, that people are saying are too old and, past their prime. not able to perform at that level anymore. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to see how everything gets back to normal. Because we get it. We get the narrative. But it's still a ball player's game, regardless of your age. You can't keep pushing and trying to make the game younger because it suits, whatever the narrative they want it to be for it to be profitable. Hold on 1 second. Nah, I had to get some. I had to turn the sound down. There was a TV on in the background. But yeah, I like the fact that the veterans are outside showing improving. Because right now they're trying to make this into. They're trying to make the NBA a lot younger, and we get it. But at some point, the veterans have a place. And what are they trying to redefine what veterans are? You know what I mean? Are they trying to shrink the NBA careers? Because there's not going to be a lot of LeBrons. It's not going to be a lot of 20 years. You might not even see a guy do 12 anymore. You know what I mean? Because they're going to try and shame you out of the league at some point. Because they tried it with LeBron for the last 4 or 5 years. Luckily for COVID, it bought them some time. But after a certain point, they try to shame the veterans out of the league. What's going to happen, I hope it doesn't, but the trend is looking like they're going younger to the point where if you've been in the league 6, 7 years, you're an old head on your way out, which is going to be crazy because no one's going to be able to teach the young guys enough for them to hold the game down later on. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have to rely on coaching, which we don't have and don't see anymore. There's not a lot of valuable ideologies as far as coaching is concerned. It's just a lot of old dudes who've been around as long as I've been around. Ex-players or guys who just been substitute coaches for years and then finally got their shot because somebody retired or aged out. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to the future of it all. You know what I mean? But the way it's going, you know what I mean? It's looking like the older heads are really gonna have more prominence in the league. Hopefully they get a lot more opportunities in the regular season to be a part of the narrative as opposed to being pushed to the side. Because a lot of these young guys aren't ready. You know what I mean? A lot of these young guys aren't ready to take on the responsibility of being the face of a team and a face of a playing style. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting. But I'm glad the guys that we got are more than qualified to do the job that they're doing right now. You know what I mean? Like there's no real weight on anybody. The responsibility is on other guys, and everybody we got is performing better than expected, or who we had rather. When everybody wanted them, the only person that everybody wanted and unanimous was Kawhi. Everybody else was like, you could let go of Norm, bring in G Money. Some of us were opposed to that. I questioned it, and then the other trades that came after. Going forward, we definitely got to make sure we make sure the guys that are veterans are qualified to hold us down in the meantime while the young guys are learning and teach at the same time. It's going to be interesting. I don't even if we can get 2 more teams involved, which I doubt they'll be able to. If you can get 2 more teams involved, we don't have to give up too much. We'll be able to barter old favors and barter the success of the players that we had in the past, and hopefully gassed them up to grab somebody that we got now in hopes of them being in the same category as the guys we traded recently. Because you could say 25% of the players, not even 25% of the valuable playing and value basketball that we're seeing is coming from Raptor players. I mean, it's a conversation. You know what I mean? If he could package that conversation right, we wouldn't have to give up too much. Hopefully, we wouldn't have to give up Scottie and IQ and all these other guys in combination. But we can give up one or two of the names and then see what happens from there and give away some ancillary players and some picks, maybe one pick somewhere in the future where it's not going to affect us too much and maybe some cash. But I don't think Giannis is staying in Milwaukee. As much as he try to front like he wants to stay there, he's a bullshitter. I think at some point, someone's from behind the scenes is going to tell the truth about him being full of shit. Like, they have to, because we can see it. Every time something happens, he always has this dumbfounded, this look like he don't understand what's going on, or he tries to be super loyal to the situation, and we know you're not. You know what I mean? Just say it's like that LeBron shit almost. We know you played a part in whatever's going on, and now you don't want to hold yourself accountable. You want to play victim like everybody else, like you don't know what's going on when you're the face of the franchise. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're. I don't think Milwaukee is going to let him go unless some type of truth tarnishes that relationship. Because right now, in front of the world, the perception is they're one big happy family, and he wants to stay. But I don't think he. I don't think that's the truth. I think we could talk our way into that conversation once there's a fracture in that relationship. Because right now they're living that lie, and we could definitely see that shit. It's possible. It's yo that I think that would be the ideal conversation for them to have a package with Scottie in it, because they think he's he's on that pathway of being similar to Giannis. The only difference between the two is Jason Kidd. Like, Jason Kidd really put his signature on that one. We haven't had a player really put a signature on Scottie's play like that. You know what I mean? He's trying to figure out things on his own, which is tougher to do as a young star. You know what I mean? He hasn't had anybody he can really identify with. That Jason Kidd, Giannis thing, they understood, you know, what it was, and there was some type of connection between the two that enabled him to learn. Because he plays, you watch him, he's just a 6'10" Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd pretty much built that. He wanted him to be a point forward. He built them into that. Giannis was nothing like that in the beginning. He showed potential, but when Jason Kidd started really putting his hands on him and making sure he developed certain skill sets and put it all together, it looked real good. It looked so good that they let Jason go. I think they might, if we could give them a good package with Scottie in it, they'll take it, because they think lightning might strike twice. But it's going to take a little. You're going to have to find a veteran. For me, a player like Boobie Cousins would be very valuable to the development of Scottie. That's why I wanted us to get Boobie, even if we got him when he wanted to play. If we would have got him last year or 2 years ago, just to be on the bench and come off the bench and just mold Scottie and make him tougher and teach him how to use his game in a different way, shit, Scottie would be damn near all NBA right now. That's a fact. But he doesn't have a veteran that can really help him shape and mold his game, because no one's ever been in that position like him. There's not a lot of similarities. Everybody has their own thing that they do, and it's a lot different than what he's doing in the package that he's doing it in. Who the hell would trade Coop? I don't know. I don't think anybody would make a trade like that. Whoever like trading Cooper Flag for a bona fide two-time MVP defensive player of the year, you're thinking of potential versus production. And it depends on who you're talking to. Because some people love the potential of Cooper Flag. Some people want the production right now, the immediate gratification of Giannis. Yeah, but that's interesting. But I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna be put in a position to trade Giannis until there's a fracture in that relationship. Right now, they're really playing that family role. They're all on the same page. Something salacious has to come out in the media. You know what I mean? Something has to come out that fractures that reality, and then the trade talks, can intensify. Until then, it's just, it's not really anything serious. But once something happens, once something is said, and once some type of information is delivered where the relationship could be punctured a little bit, that shit over with. Because it's a house of cards. They really ain't in it together like that. Reality is they got everything they wanted out of Giannis. They got a championship, they got relevancy, they got MVPs, they got everything they wanted. They got more than they ever could dream of with Giannis. And they may feel like it's time to move on, but they want to make it got to make sense. But there has to be a reason. There can't be a trade being made without a why. I agree. I agree. But like I said, it's one of them things where it's like it depends on the person. Whoever, some young people will be like they're with it. Some older people will be with the Giannis trade. I think I would always pick a Giannis over a Cooper. Always. I would never. I would trade that. To be honest with you, I would definitely trade that. If I want to win right now and shake things up right now, I would do that because you're gonna have 4 or 5 years of development with Cooper Flag, and then you're gonna build around him. Then you're trusting your ability to build around him, and then you got to find players that want to play around him. Because the NBA is these things is superficial. They're not really trying to come in and play behind him. They're not. You can't name one NBA player that be like, yo, if you trade him, you gonna play behind him? They're not playing behind Shorty. They're not. You're gonna have to give him 20, 22 touches, 25 touches a game. Everything is gonna be ran through him. It's gonna be his team. I don't know. They'll play for the money, but I don't think they're gonna sign up for playing behind that kid. I would go with Giannis. That's another thing. That salary cap thing. We're talking about billionaires. Like they really don't care about none of the rules. Like if they want to really spend their money, they really could do what they want and spend that money. You know what I mean? They'll pay whatever fine. Like it's not like they can't afford it. You know what I mean? You're just hoping that there's some genuine intent of staying within the lines and playing within the lines. But they really don't have to. They can go do some Yankee shit and just be like, listen, we'll pay for whoever if they really want to. But right now, everybody's playing nice because they're getting billions of dollars together. But if they want to pay Giannis, they'll pay him. You know what I mean? If they want to put up a big, it don't matter. They'll pay that fine. Whatever the fine is, they can afford it. He's made them more than enough money. If they want to indulge in another contract and it be ridiculous, I won't. I think that conversation of cap space being some type of limitation for billionaires, I don't think they care as much as we do about that type of conversation. I think they'll go above and beyond if it makes sense for them to get what they want. Say, how else did they become rich in the first place? Quite sure they jumped over some fines and dealt with some salary caps in other areas. That's a good combination. That's definitely a good combination. Now we talking. We talked about that LaMelo thing earlier, like during the season. Now kid is good, man. The kid is good. I don't know what what we would have to give up. It would probably take a lot as far as them letting them go, because they're gonna overvalue him. They're gonna overvalue him. They're not gonna go quickly and somebody else for LaMelo. They're gonna probably want Scottie for LaMelo. I wouldn't let Scottie. I wouldn't let Scottie go for LaMelo. You know what I mean? That would, because we would have to give up a lot more than just Scottie for that. And then we're hoping LaMelo stays on track. He's bordering that ticking time bomb phase. You know what I mean? Because the league is fucking with him right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing well enough to be an all-star, all NBA, and they're not giving it to him. At some point, he has an attitude where he'll give up. Because he's doing it the right way. And he can't, listen, he's playing his ass off, and they're not giving him any of the acknowledgement. He's not becoming an all-star. He's not all NBA candidate, none of that shit. And they're saying because you're not winning and all this other shit. Same thing with Trae Young. But at some point, LaMelo is going to get fed up with it. I don't want him to get fed up with it with us. You know what I mean? Right now, that situation for me is like a ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? Because he's performing high enough. He's doing everything he's supposed to do, but they're intentionally ignoring him. And there's no reason. They're intent keeping him out of the All-Star games, keeping him out of certain conversations on purpose. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that too. They do get hurt a lot. But he hoops though. When LaMelo's healthy, LaMelo's a hooper, but it's like he's starting to every year you can tell that light inside of him is dimming for basketball, because the business of it is trumping the love that he has for it. Because he's doing everything. He's having fun. He's doing everything. He's engaging. Fans love him. And still, even when he's putting up numbers, he's not getting that love from the league, which is crazy. That's insane. But yeah, I would, guys like LaMelo and Brandon Ingram, when they're healthy, they're good as gold. You know what I mean? But it's just, it comes down to coaching. Like, a lot of it now, I'm telling y'all right now, I've been saying it for years. It's gonna come down to these coaches coming up with a means to an end. They have to start coaching, because a lot of them hide behind superstars and the business of the game. We don't have a lot of really good NBA coaches. We never did. We had 3 or 4 exceptional coaches, and the rest were like, eh. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never had a full group. And I'm gonna go back to my era. It was the same thing in the 80s and 90s, but you had more quality coaches. Might not be, you know, you could say 25% of the league had quality coaches back then who took it serious. Now and who had a system and were really trying to win. We got coaches that are just, I don't know what the fuck they doing. It looks pseudo competitive, but when you really put the spotlight on it, there's nothing there. They're hiding behind their superstars. You put the bench in, or you got to play with ancillary players, they're not productive. It don't look the same, and it should. Part of your job now is going to be, how do you make your weakest player as strong as the strongest player on another team? I think JJ Redick is going to be first to crack that. He's going to be first to crack that code, because he's looking for it. He's looking for a way to make his weakest link stronger than everybody else's strongest. And that's what you're supposed to do as a coach. But you have to have a system. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. And now you got a lot of these veterans coming out telling y'all the same shit I've been saying. Systems wins championships. There's a reason why that triangle shit just seems undefeated. 15, 16 championships. And this is in a short period of time. Like, man, listen, with various styles of play, different types of players, man, listen. Whoever invents that new thing that works offensively, that next like thing is going to be ahead of everybody. Because right now, letting the superstar do whatever he want, that shit ain't going to work. And it's not entertaining. We want to see why you paying everybody now. That's what it's getting into. Like, we want to see why everybody is making the money they making and in the position they're in compared to the guys that didn't make it. I agree. I agree. But we got to see if Darko can get this shit started off strong. Because if this shit don't start off strong next season, it's going to be pressure. It's going to be pressure for him. He's going to have to start off strong. The first 15 games, maybe even 16 games for Darko next season are the most important games of his career. If we don't look good in them first 15 games with what we got, there's going to be pressure applied to him. And that's going to be important because his system is going to be in question. His ideology, his philosophies are going to be in question. And if Coach Bud is still available, if Taylor Jenkins is still available, if all these other guys are still available, the pressure is going to be to get to them before another team goes and gets in their ear, and then we lose out on that opportunity to get that type of coach. When we talk about young teams, is it because of the potential of the talent, or is it because of the coach's ability? Because if it's the potential of the talent, then that's, you know what I mean? Like, saying a young team is on the rise is kind of like, it's fantasy based, right? Because it comes down to how does your coach, if there's no veteran on the team that's old, that has the cachet to really talk to the young kids and get through to them and mold them into what the system needs them to be, how does the coach get to them to get them in position to be productive within that system? Because at the end of the day, it's either the talent is going to outshine the coaching, or the coaching is going to trump the talent. And then it's going to be an issue when it comes down to who you're going to pay and why you're going to pay them. Like, a lot of these young teams have decent coaches and some veterans in position. Like I said, you got to have twice as many veterans. We got so many young players. Shit, we there's no way. Like, our young players now, the starters are becoming the veterans, and the guys in the second unit are the babies. And we're missing that level of what the Pistons have. Like, they got 4 veterans to the 2 superstars they have. Like, we got young veteran superstars learning as they go from nobody but the experiences in front of them. No extra information. So when you're saying young team, like, it's a scary situation because now you're hoping that the coaching is strong enough and the veteran presence, you have enough veteran presence because we got way too many young players. We're filled with young players. Somebody got to be the OG. And who's going to take on that role? We can't, like, the old guys we got, God bless them. But nah, the young OGs now, we got fucking IQ, RJ, Scottie. Like, those guys are becoming the elder statesmen right before our eyes. And we're not even seeing them learn from veterans that actually who are on a level to teach them and that they could trust. So then now they have to learn on their own and teach at the same time and be somebody that you could believe in at the same time while the coach is still trying to figure his shit out at the same time. Like, there's a lot of young teams on the rise, but what is it based off of? You know what I mean? Is it based off the coaching or the players? It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting conversation. Definitely an interesting conversation. Oh, Scottie definitely gonna have a better season. I think he's gonna come. I think he's gonna come close to a good mid triple double. Nice little 17, 18, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Easy. He's gonna get close to a triple double. I wouldn't be surprised if he did average a triple double. Nice little 18, 17-point triple double. Easy. But then it's gonna come down to, he has to accept his role. You know what I mean? If he could accept his role and the numbers that come with that role, we cool with it. I think he's going to be dope in that role because that's the role he's always played. When he played with Cade, when he played at Florida State, he played that particular type of role. I think it's going to be dope, though. I think he's definitely going to have you know what? I think it's not just that he's going to have a better statistical season. I think he's going to have a more relevant and impactful season. Everything is going to mean a lot more. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be him putting up numbers and they really don't mean shit. I think those numbers are going to equate to wins for us. It's going to be difference-making numbers because it's going to make sense of what everybody else is doing. Because now he got to back clean up and be the, you know what I mean? He got to be that glue that keeps the team together and makes up the differences along the way. Yeah, but I would definitely put money on that too. He's definitely going to have a better season. I think he's going. You know what it is? I think he's going to have an OG type of opportunity. OG got it easy in New York. OG got it super easy. And I think Scottie's gonna fall into that space where he's gonna have it super easy. There ain't no responsibility on him. He could play his game and do what he do and just stay healthy. Long as he stays healthy, because we're not questioning the money. As crazy as it may sound, we're not questioning the fact that he got the bag. Nobody cares. As long as he's healthy and he's productive on a consistent basis, we're going to win a lot of games with the team we got. Granted that we get that Duke center, because we definitely got to get a center. If we can get that Duke center, that'd be fire. That's a lot. If you're saying that level of consistency, that would be dope. That's Hall of Fame consistency. Remember, Tim Duncan came in like that. He came in like that. He came in second year, you know what I mean? MVP of the finals. Like he came in like that. That would be a good pocket for Scottie. Definitely would be a nice pocket for Scottie. Now we talking. Now the conversation gets hey, I like this. Exactly. 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 And we could even go back to, we could say it took Boston 8 years, maybe 9 years to get to this point. A lot of these teams were far behind the 8 ball 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. A lot of these runs that a lot of teams that are in position now, it took them 10, 12 years. It ain't like they woke up like this. We rebuild and we reshaped and we're back in the fray and we're back in the thick of things. It's not normal. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's definitely not normal. Like our perspective and the reality that as Raptors fans, we see our team make this quick turnaround. Like sometimes it's over when shit like that, like the trades we made in the middle of last season, or even some of the trades we made leading up to it. Shit. A lot of teams would have been like the next 5 years, next 7 years. We were up and ready. Not even like it wasn't even a year. Few months later, we looking good. Draft comes, look better. Almost a year later, a year and some change later, great position. This shit ain't normal. It don't happen like this for everybody. These front offices aren't making these type of decisions. They take years to get here. Like, to get in the position that we're in probably would have took another franchise 5 years, 6 years. And that's with a magnificent general manager or president of basketball operations. Took us less than, 13, 14 months, maybe 14 months to get back in playoff conversation. Like, nigga, they top 6 next year with confidence. If another team would have went through what it's over. Nigga, look at San Antonio. Look at San Antonio. Y'all said how great Wemby was, and the team still ain't going nowhere. Now he want to work with Akeem Olajuwon. That's cool. But instead of working with Akeem Olajuwon, I hope he's still alive. I would look for Moses Malone, because that's who Akeem Olajuwon worked with. The person that developed Akeem Olajuwon was Moses Malone. That's how he got that good. Akeem Olajuwon wasn't that good until he started working out with Moses Malone in the summertime. It was like maybe 2 summers. He went from okay to the number 1 pick, working out with Moses Malone. I hope Moses Malone is still alive. I'm not sure, because a lot of our old veteran superstars have been, a lot of the elder statesmen have been passing. But yeah, he gets to work with Akeem Olajuwon. But what we did is ridiculous. Like, when you really sit back and think about, damn, like, it ain't really take that long. Mind you, we sacrificed another season on top of the trades. We deliberately sacrificed another season. And these franchises have been building for the last 10 years to be in the position that they're in, just to be playoff teams. Just to get a number 1 pick, just to get whatever picks, just to get in a position to be in the conversation. It only took us 14 months to get back in after dismantling the last of the championship roster. Insane. That's definitely no excuses. Definitely no excuses. That's why I'm saying them first 15 games. If we're not getting it done in them first 15, if we're not 9-6 at the least after the first 15 games, if we're not at least 3 games above 500 after the first 15 games, Darko's going to have hell to pay. Because you got the talent. It's the right time. You got what you need. Like, listen, regardless of the situation, you got to get us into that spot. At least the 6th seed. And stay there. At the least. I think he got enough to get to we got a bench. Most of these teams don't even have a bench, really. You saw it. Like, I don't want to harp on Detroit, but if you notice, they got 2 of the 4 veterans on the bench and starting. They didn't put them all together. They split them up, which is what I was saying the Knicks should have did. You already got a magnificent starting 5. 2 of those guys should play with the second unit more. That's it. That would have been the start of it all. During the season, have 2 of your star guys play with the second unit to build that relationship, to build that up. So you can have that mixture. Even though you keep playing the starting 5, somebody's going to burn out. I'm glad it hasn't happened, but you run that risk. Thanks, I appreciate that. Shit, 50 wins? 50 wins, that's a lot. Shit. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. Now that's when you got to hope that the system is rocking with you. I think if Brandon, because all the podcasters right now are waiting for Brandon Ingram. Like they have people in analytics who are aware of the algorithm when you talk about the Raptors. They're not dumb. They know it's going to move the needle, but they're waiting for Brandon Ingram to talk. Once Brandon Ingram starts rolling, they're going to be talking. Watch. And I said this months ago because they kept saying little slick shit on these shows. I'm like, yeah, we got Scottie. They ain't really talk about Scottie like that. Once in a blue moon. But as soon as Brandon Ingram came to us, they can't wait. They got shit in the stash tucked. The machine is raring to go for that conversation. It's raring to go. They're gonna make that shit a feel-good story. It's gonna be like the reemergence. And watch. I know how they gonna play it, but I'm not gonna say shit. It's man, listen. They gonna make it seem like he's saving us. Watch. They gonna make it seem like he came and he saved us. That's gonna be their narrative, and that's how they gonna spin it and run with it on every show. And we know that's not the truth. But they gonna run with that shit. Watch. Yo, it's good. Yeah, we watch, and I agree. I believe the machine is going to definitely show us favor. The machine is definitely going. Listen, it's going to be interesting because they're going to try to paint that kid as the savior, and that ain't necessarily the truth. He's not here to save us. He's here to help us with getting closer to where we're trying to go, but he ain't fucking saving us. Let's make sure that ain't like I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that conversation. But yeah, let's not make it seem like he's coming to save the team. I just don't want that. And I know that's what they're going to roll with. Before he got here, and now look, and yeah, and they're going to push that agenda. And they're going to push him into MVP conversation. They're going to push it into when it's just good timing. You came to a place at the right time. Right time for you, right time for us, and it worked out. Let's not make it seem like man, listen. I know what they're about to do. I know it. We're going to get a lot of calls. And if Scottie plays this right, he's going to be an all-star and all-defensive next year. Oh, that's already going. That's already started. Everybody's, believe it or not, they're tucked away. It's going to be millions of people. Watch. And we're going to look and be like, yo, when we was winning before, y'all, none of this shit was happening. None of it. If we win 40, let's say we win 46 games, right? They're going to treat us better than they treated us when we won 48. And that was a strong year too. When we won them 48 games, Scottie rookie year, that was a hard fought 48. We fought Pascal with the injury, OG was injured, Fred broke down. Like it was a lot going on. And we still ended up 48 wins. And we didn't get any of the love. We get to 46 wins, watch. They're going to act like we won 60 and he saved us. He should be in the MVP conversation, all that shit. But we going to roll with it, though. Let them believe what they want to believe as long as we win it. As long as we win it, let them believe because as soon as he leave, we still going to be winning. It's just going to be what it's going to be, whether he's here or not. When he leave, we going to still be winning. Appreciate you. Ain't nothing changing. But it's perfect timing for all of us. It's perfect timing for him and perfect timing for us. But they definitely gonna paint that bullshit picture. I don't know. It depends as far as the Darko conversation, it's gonna be about how we win. What the effort look like, what the energy look like, what the dominance look like, what the execution looks like. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're gonna give him as much credit as he deserves, but mainly because he had to sit back and accept the fact that there was some administrative decisions that got to be made, and he's not being put in the perfect position to start coaching. Like he hasn't even been in a real position to start actually coaching yet because we haven't finalized the roster yet because we're still putting it together so that he can have something more of a solid base to build from. You know what I mean? The last year and a half, 2 years, he's been having to wait, like do things here and there, but for the most part, he's really having to wait for the team to be solidified and everything is done administratively so that he can say, all right, now you can coach. You ready? We got you all your material. Now you can work. But that's why I'm glad we gave him that paper. Because if we didn't, it would be disrespectful for him to wait and wait and wait. And it's kind of like you don't want it to be an indictment on his coaching ability when he never really got a chance to coach. Because he's simply waiting and doing what he can with what he got without having the full roster yet. Once he gets enough of a full roster, I think he's going to be okay. But he's running out of time. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to push him. If he has a signature game early in the season, if he's averaging 25, 26 a game early in the season, if he can hold on to that, they definitely going to make it seem like he's one of the best players in the NBA, one of the at least top 15. Because, KD and all of them are being phased out. They're forcing out the old guys. They're figuring that out as we speak. They just want them to be a part of the big bang of the new TV deal. Once they get that TV deal solidified and some new faces, they're going to force them out. And don't think the NBA can't do that shit. They did it to Melo, and they'll definitely start showing these guys the door, whether they want to or not, because it's about that time. You know what I mean? And we're going to see. We're going to see. We're definitely going to see. Definitely going to see. It's definitely his time. Like he has this moment. This is the right time for us and for him. But let's see. The NBA is definitely going to jump all over it. You know what I mean? It's going to be a hot take, a hot topic. But I don't think if Scottie would have jumped out the gym and had great numbers and all that, they would give him the same love that they're about to give Brandon. You know what I mean? They talk about Scottie here and there, but for the most part, it's nothing compared to the energy level I've seen when I heard guys speak about Brandon Ingram. Like it's a totally different vibe. Like that shit is crazy. And they don't even know him like that either. He just been in the NBA a little bit longer, but he don't really have no relationships with none of these dudes either. It ain't like they cool and hang out together either. But they're just gonna show him more love for whatever reason. We're about to see something interesting. It's about to be interesting. I have no idea. Because Coach Tibbs ain't even figured out a way to coach up the second unit yet. I thought he had time. Everybody knew he didn't have a bench from the start. November comes, he didn't do anything. December came, he doesn't do anything. January, February, March, still ain't do shit with the bench. I believe they can beat them if they can keep the bench in a space where they can actually be productive but not be put in the danger zone. Because I'm telling you, if the Celtic team, if their bench gets hot, the Knicks bench is gonna have to answer that call, or the starters are gonna have to work a little overtime. It's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting. I believe they can pull it off. I just don't know how. I definitely don't know how. But I don't think Celtics shooting 50 threes and 45 threes is gonna work. They're definitely gonna have to, if they can get the Celtics away from that 3-point line and really force them to play basketball and slow that, man, listen, I think they have a great shot. They got a great shot. We're about to find out, though. We definitely gonna find out. We gonna find, and it's hard to repeat. And I don't know. There's something about the Celtics this year. They look satisfied. But the problem is They won that championship, and we're not respecting it because it wasn't with the system that got them in position in the first place. They did it with some cartoon arcade shit, and we don't really respect it. So we're gonna see. We definitely gonna see. We see how this shit play out. I agree with you. I agree. But I think it's a lesson learned. I think that it's a lesson learned for us, especially when we see teams use our format. Because nobody, I watched, I remember what the NBA was before Scottie came. Right when Scottie came to our team and we surrounded him with veterans and had that success, it wasn't a lot of that. Now it's like what certain teams are doing is purposefully finding competent veterans to accommodate whatever superstar they have, and it works. It works. It's easier to do than to build up the young kids because nobody wants to develop young talent. You can bring in young guys, but once you have the older guys already setting the tone and the culture, and you have a young star who makes them optimistic about their future, you kind of got the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? I hadn't seen a lot of that. Like we can't even say we seen that. Like deliberately done. I think what we did was deliberate. We got a young star, surrounded them with veterans, and it worked out great. Now that same system is being mimicked, and I think it's gonna be interesting. I think that's what's gonna be the trend. I think that we're not gonna get no credit for that shit, but I think that's gonna become a trend. And I like the fact that even even with Indiana having so many young players, they got enough veterans. They got enough veteran leadership and presence. It's enough. Definitely enough. That's gonna be the trend. That's gonna be the trend. If you all gonna draft young or cater to a young player, you're gonna to have competent veterans, twice as many. I think that's the problem with San Antonio. They don't have enough veterans. I think having all those, having Chris Paul or whoever you got, I don't think that's enough. You need more. Definitely need more. Because there's no reason why he's not in the playoffs. There's no reason. You could say Coach Pop ain't around. I understand, but Coach Pop ain't gonna be there forever. They should just off of his talent alone, him being 7'4" and unstoppable, they should have at least been in the play in. They're not even in the conversation of playoff or play in at all. Like, and you would have thought that this year at least they would be right there. And that's not the case. And we can't say that they're tanking because you can't have a young player and then surround that young player with young players. That shit doesn't work. We just tried that. We just tried it. Now we got to grab a couple veterans from somewhere, or we have to allow our guys that we have, the young OGs that we have, to gain more experience. That's the position they gave him. He got that position. I don't know. Last time I checked, he wasn't feeling well. I hope you know what I mean. I hope he get his health back before he comes back to basketball. But I still think they should have been at least in the play-in or closer to the playoffs than they were. At least even a first round exit. Even the first round exit would have been good. You know what I mean? But that would have been on his resume as he been to the playoffs. This kid is 7'4", an anomaly. Great, like the potential is through the roof, but you got to win with it. And him going to work with Elijah, I don't know if that's going to help any more than anything that he's already good enough. It's just that he got to figure out how to win with what he got. You need more veterans. You need more veterans. Just imagine if he came in behind a Tim Duncan during that run or right after that run against Miami. Shit. Which is impossible because they were in the championship. But just imagine if that was the soil he was planted in, as opposed to where he is right now. Oh, now they got to find a coach now. Now the Spurs got to find a coach. Hopefully that'll work out, man. Hopefully it all works out. Kid is good. He's too good not to be in the playoffs. He's too interested in it to not be in the playoffs. It's just, and he's not even, we're not even thinking about him, which is crazy. He's not in the playoffs. Wembanyama is not in the playoffs. And nobody's even thinking about it. Nobody's even batting an eyelash. He's supposed to be in the playoffs. He's supposed to be in some of these, like, even a whisper in the conversations. Got to see. I want to. I just want to see the series. I think the Knicks are going to win the series. I got the Knicks in 7. It's going to come back. Oh damn, they got to play in Boston. Shit. I got the Knicks in 7. Got the Knicks in 7. If it don't happen, then the Boston Celtics definitely played their ass off. They're going to earn it. Whoever comes out of these next 2 series in the Eastern Conference is going to earn it. The Pacers and the Cavs, who is just as good as the Knicks and the Celtics. Like it don't even make. I'm gonna say it like this. It don't even make no. I'm not watching no Western Conference games. I'm good. I'm good on that. Like I'm not watching no Western Conference games. I'm straight. I'm not staying up to 1:30. All my games end at 9:00. That's it. When I come for work, the game should be over. I'm hopping on Spaces. I'm gonna see what everybody talking about. Watch the highlights. Do whatever I gotta do. I'm not watching none of the Western Conference games. It don't make no sense. The gem of the playoffs is these 2 Eastern Conference. You know how we waited a whole year for these. I've been waiting. I'm gonna say personally for me, I've been waiting a whole year for this. I wanted to see that shit last year, but now we got it, and everybody's healthy. All 4 teams are healthy. All the superstars are healthy. Everybody's ready. Man, listen. I hope they drag those series out, man. I hope they could, man. To me, that's the championship. To me, it's going to mean more to me than the finals, because this is what we want to see: real battles. Everybody, they don't like each other. They all want to beat each other. You heard, like they think they're better than each other. Nobody cares about stats and achievements. They just want to beat each other. Right, man? Listen, I'm gonna love every second of it. But that series is almost over. Like it for me, the Nuggets and the Clippers kind of got caught in. It was a great surprise, but it got caught in the shuffle of everything else that was going on at the same time. Like there was all this news inside of basketball, outside of basketball, and it kind of, for me, that series got lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Even the Lakers being eliminated completely eclipsed that possible conversation. Like I don't know. I think they got lost in the shuffle a little bit. It's a good series. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, like really watch how it evolved. But I don't know, man. Like I don't see a lot of people talking about it or any real energy and momentum around it as far as conversation is concerned. It's looking close as fuck. It's 3-3 coming down to Game 7, but I don't know, man. These next 2 series that's coming up, I don't know. It just got my undivided attention, man. It got my undivided attention. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that. Hey, listen, the MVP. Listen, now that if those 2 can go toe to toe, yeah, I might stay up till 1:00. I might have to stay up till 1:00 because if they haven't already decided, and I do believe Shea got robbed last year. He should have got the MVP last year. And if Joker with those numbers, he deserves the MVP this year. He definitely with those numbers. But if Shea gets the MVP, he deserves it because you jerked him last year. They did the same thing with Joel Embiid. There was a year when Joel was supposed to get it. They gave it to Joker, gave it to Joel the next year. They did the same thing to Shea. I think Shea is going to get it this year, respectfully. I'm gonna have to. You know what? Before Game 7, I'm gonna go ahead and go watch all 6 games and check that out. 'Cause I don't know. I've been hearing Kawhi been hooping, but I ain't hear it. Ain't like that. When Kawhi used to hoop, it used to sound off. Like you would hear it everywhere. Everybody be talking about it. It's just I don't know. The energy isn't there. It's probably like I said, and it's probably because other things in and outside of basketball have been happening, and I don't know. I know the Eastern Conference got my undivided attention. I'm gonna have to look back on them other series. So Game 7 for that series is what, Sunday? If that shit is Sunday, that's perfect. Or it could be tomorrow. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check and see. Hopefully, I can catch it after work, or hopefully I'm off tomorrow. I'll see what my schedule is today. Oh, that's perfect. Saturday is perfect. That's what's up. 6:30. Hopefully I'm off. I don't know. I gotta find out today. I gotta check that schedule, see if I'm off. If I'm not off, I'm gonna fucking miss it. Have to catch the highlights. Oh, 7:30. That's good. That's good. I'll probably get off at like 10. I might be able to catch. Hopefully, if they string it out, stretch it out a little bit. I got the Pacers. I got the Pacers. The Cavs got a lot of weight on their show. Like for the last 2-3 years, they've been really outperforming the expectation during the regular season. And then when they get to the playoffs, it's not the same energy. This year so far, it looked like it's the same vibe that they have during the regular season. We got to see. They got to get at least to Game 6 of the conference finals for people to believe in it. Because right now, like we as fans, we not giving them niggas no respect. It's like, all right, you accomplished this, so what? You were good during the regular season, so what? Boston won a whole championship and nobody cares. You know, I've never watched a team win a championship and nobody really care. Like it's like, all right, let's move on. There's no celebration. There's no being put on a pedestal. Like I remember teams when they won a championship, they were put on a pedestal. Like it felt like they were just better than everybody else. Like it's just a different day. Until they're able to make a deep run, I don't think motherfuckers gonna believe in their abilities to dominate. You know what I mean? Because right now they look like a dominant team statistically, and they have these moments, these pockets. But let's see what you do against the best of the best. These are the best teams in the East left. If you can go through them and get to the finals, well, there's going to be a lot more respect given. A lot more respect given. They may have to make the finals in order to make it interesting. Damn, in 5? In 5? Come on, B. In 5? I don't know, man. That's too close to a sweep. That's a gentleman's sweep. I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a general. That's you know how good the Celtics are gonna have to play, and you know that the league is gonna make it into just for the listen. If the ratings are through the roof and the conversations are through the roof, it's going to 7. That's a fact. We know it's going to 7. Just for the ratings alone, it's gonna go to 7. You know how this works. You know how it really works. We ain't gotta lie. We know how it really works. It ain't gonna be no 5-game series. These 2 series coming down to 6,
7 at least. And if anybody wins in this like game 6, it's gonna feel like a sweep. It's gonna feel like a gentleman's sweep. It's going to 7. I think both of these series is going to at least 6, definitely 7 if you're asking me. The ratings are going to be through the roof. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be the Pacers and the Cavs. I agree. It's not even it gotta go to at least 7. Like if it go to 6, it's still gonna feel too much like a sweep. It's gonna go to 7 just for if the ratings for game 1, and I promise y'all this, if the ratings for game 1 for both of those series are through the roof, it's going to game 7. That's a fact. Oh, it's gonna happen. And we gonna get some great basketball, but we know it's gonna go the distance. Yeah, it has to. Somebody got to get up. Absolutely, I agree with that. Listen, one of the favorites got to go. One of the favorites got to go. It makes for a better story. It makes for a better story. It makes for a better story. Now it's like, who do you? It's like, who do you want? Who you want to lose? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want. I would rather see. Like, at some point, one of our favorites is gonna go. One of our guys got to leave. You know what I mean? Pascal or OG. You know what I mean? One of them is going to get eliminated you know what I mean? At some point, it has to happen. They're both not going to make it. But shit, to see both of them in the conference finals against each other, that would destroy the whole conversation about them being in the way of anything. And Pascal being a fucking making the All-Star team when they weren't even giving him the rock for the 3rd time is crazy. We could have did that to him here. We could have not gave him the ball here. He could have been an All-Star for us. On paper, that sounds good. Like on paper, but will we really watch that? Will we really be, you know what I mean? Like, will we really? We'll watch, but it'll be like, damn. You know what I mean? I would have rather saw. We'll see. I don't know. I think the semi, like the this right here, the 2 matchups that we have is more exciting than what for me the outcome of the 2 matchups are. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna be exhausted after. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be exhausted after. I think it's gonna be a battle for 14 games. But yo, I gotta get going. I gotta get ready for work. Shit. Oh man. Oh man. But who played tonight? Oh, the Warriors played tonight? I'm gonna watch the highlights of that shit. But feels good to know that I got something to look forward to for at least the next 3 weeks, maybe 4 if they stretch that shit out. But yo, I'm gonna get going. I gotta get ready for work. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be going for 18 days. I was dealing. I had to take care of some stuff. and my mind wasn't really locked in on talking about stuff. I had to take care of some things for the channel and other stuff. But I had some stuff to take care of. But I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be cool. And till the next time, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Nah, no problem. I don't know. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I might do something tonight if I'm not too exhausted. You know what I mean? But or I might jump on the spaces. If y'all out there in the spaces, I might hop on. I saw some spaces last night, but I was just, you know what I mean? I was just a little tired. I didn't want to come there and not be able to bring energy and fucking fall asleep. But yo, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.